The question yesterday was, can you add smoke gear to an engine that does not have the smoke boss? An engine like this. An engine like this, can you add the smoke gear to it when you don't have the spot for the smoke gear, like all of that? Well, the answer is, well, yes. If you have a Dremel and you're real crazy and a 3D printer, and then yeah, you can add a smoke gear to a reverse in boiler chassis. That's the answer. But the question is it worth the energy? Is it worth the grief? And no, we can't do it with a Dremel anymore. We'd have to use a real-life machine tool like Jim Shea has. The question is, would you want to pay Jim Shea to whittle out all of that material so that it looks like that, so that you can put a gear on there with this long arm, and then that gear just rotates like that? And then you think, well, if you do that, why are we doing it? What's the deal? Where are we going with this? Well, the deal is we have this infrared thing, right, that we mounted like here. When we had the gear on this car, we could mount it here, and then we could count the stripes. Now, I'd have to integrate whatever this is. See that little stubby thing there? He'd have to get grown out. And then this thing would have to hang here. So you'd actually have the gear on one side and the sensor on the other and the gear in the middle, and you bring them down in contact with, right, which is at the time a little shaky, partly because I didn't whittle enough material away. I got a little interference. It really rolls nice, except for it's got some interference. And if I do that, if I push it backwards, it clears just barely, and it rolls nicely. Isn't that something else, though? You really can figure stuff out. You just got to figure out if it's worth it. Okay, now that's one. Two, this engine is ready to go. I've got to build a tender for it. This engine is going to come back from wherever it went. I'm going to get it back and running. I've got a tender going together. I got all the brackets made, and you know, we got the smoke going with the opening, right? He's running well. And here we have where the gear is there, and I added this bracket. It's an old bracket with the limit switch to try to trigger this smoke housing, which it does, but I got a pretty poor speaker on it, I must admit. And I got some loose wires that tend to want to get in the way of things. But just get it out there ways. Let's not get too... I got jumpy. Oh, it's caught on that. And it ripped out of the speaker, and it just... All right, let me try again. Oh, shoot. Okay, I've rewired it a little bit. Let's just see if this little motor would do what we think it can. Oh yeah, there it goes. I'm just going to bring it back. I'm standing here and I'm moving it backwards because I'm looking at it. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. Little thing will scoot, won't it? Oh, dang. I'm going crazy trying to do this. Okay, it's a runner. You can't hear the chuff. I think that speaker is just not right for that board. I think that speaker is not right for that board. That's what's happening. Now, oh, it's not one thing, it's another. It's too low, and it's hitting the uncoupler button, and yet it's angled up too high, and blah, 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 and so it's not going to pull the load. And I don't know, I could probably get past here, trigger it, then hook it up, and then don't go over a switch. Okay. It'll go. No, not that way. Now it's going to uncouple. Well, it's spinning out because it's got a load. It's going to get caught. That wire's going to get caught. It made it. It's just spinning. It's just spinning like crazy. See that? No mass. But look at that. No body. Nothing there. It's just, but it's running. It's doing it. Okay. Here's the deal. The cam and the switch are working. I tested them with the meters, okay? I'm sorry. The cam and the switch are working. Tested them with the meters. The speaker is small, not very loud. There's probably a volume. There is a volume on here. I may have it turned down. Or this speaker just may not work well with that particular chuff. But I'm going to call it, an 80 from what I wanted to do, because I do think this is a tweaking of the speaker and the board, because we know that chuff sound is there. I had it, believe me, I had it, and it was working, and it wasn't that bad. But you put the whole thing together, and you got a lot of rumble with the track and all, and if you don't have a big speaker, you're not going to hear it. So I think that's the challenge right here. I'm going to go off. It's 10 after. I'm going to spend a few minutes on another engine, see if I can get it going. The whole idea is just to get a few engines going, because I like, this is the part I like. It's fun. I feel good about it. And so far I've got 3. I got 4. I'm working on the 5th. So yeah, get them going. All right. I'll post it. You guys can check it out. See if you think I'm real crazy or just a little crazy. It is what called again? Frankentrain. Oh, yes. We did it.